In September of 2020, a series of allegations were made that almost broke Twitch in half. Adriana Lee, a female streamer, accused Crazy Slick of sexual assault. Crazy Slick, being good friends with Mizkif, then managed to get his friends into a major drama when Mizkif and Maya Higa were accused of covering up the alleged incident in order to protect their friend's career. Today, I'm going to review the court documents related to this case, wherein Adriana Lee decided to take Mizkif to court to determine if she has a case or if she doesn't. I'm going to weave you guys a story, and we're going to go deep. We're going to go deep on this one, deeper than I've gone on probably any stream, unironically. This is some deep. This will probably be news to the YouTube community. I think the world will be very surprised by what we found. And it was hiding in plain sight. It was hiding in plain sight. So, what do you guys know about Mizkif? What do you guys know about Mizkif? Here's Mizkif over here. Here's his YouTube channel. Mizkif is a very popular streamer. He's one of the most popular people on Twitch. You've definitely at least heard of him. Even if you don't know his content, you've heard of him. He's been doing Twitch for 7-8 years, I want to say. He's been doing it for a very long time. He's associated with people like Asmongold. He's collaborated with Moist Critical. He's quite a popular guy. He's quite a popular guy. But he's also a controversial one. He's a controversial person not just because he's, you know, been edgy on stream or whatever. He's a controversial person because of some allegations that came out. Some allegations that came out regarding Mizkif, one of his friends, a girl. And it's the story of how Mizkif almost tanked his career, honestly, because of defending his friend. So, where does this come in? Where does this come in? Well, to answer that question, we have to talk about another person, another individual. And that individual is Trainwrecks TV. Now, Trainwrecks TV is one of my personal favorite streamers on Twitch. He's not on Twitch anymore. He's now on Kick, one of the founders of that site. But when he was on Twitch, he was really killing it. He's a very funny guy. You can see his YouTube channel has some big hits. And he got really big doing gambling stuff. He was huge before then, but he kind of hit a new stride doing gambling stuff, right? He was gambling on Stake. He was gambling on, you know, various gambling sites on Twitch. And it was very popular content for a time. And at the same time, a lot of people were doing that kind of content. Kai Cenat was gambling. Aiden Ross was gambling. XQC was gambling. Everybody was doing gambling content because they're like, what the f***, I'm a millionaire, why don't I just gamble? And then sites start paying them explicitly to gamble on, you know, their platforms and promote it. Now, I made a video on my main channel about Trainwrecks TV, and it was a pretty good video, I will say. It was a pretty good video. It goes over his whole history, really, including the gambling stuff. But things got really dark at one point with this story because gambling was a very controversial subject in general. Gambling really was a very controversial subject on Twitch. A lot of people had problems with it, including Pokimane. She was like, we should just ban all gamblers on Twitch. I think Ludwig Agren was going for basically the same kind of motto, despite the fact that Amazon has partnered with DraftKings as a sponsorship, which is just sports betting, which is gambling. Just gambling in another form with a different sort of coat of paint on it. But gambling was a very contentious issue. A lot of people were going against it. Now, Train didn't really like that. He didn't really like that was happening. And it led to a lot of crazy drama going down. And I explained some of it in this video.
He gave me like $150,000. No, sorry, not 150, $100,000. And I know people are going to be like...
Train also confirmed this on his own stream.
Yeah, I gave him a lot of money. USD. Just a gift. Like I literally said, just give it, you know, I mean, straight gift. And I wasn't even happy about it. Like, don't get me wrong. I wasn't like, oh, you know, no. I was like, listen, like, get your shit together. I'm pissed. We're done, though.
So this guy was Crazy Slick. Or sorry, this guy was Slicker. Now, Slicker was a very popular person on Twitch, associated with a lot of big names. Kind of a B-tier streamer at the time, but he was pretty big. And at the time, he had gone into so much gambling debt. He owed so many people so much money that people considered him a scammer, right? Basically. That's basically what the deal was with that. And some went down. There were two Slicks. There was Slicker, the gambling addict who destroyed his life for gambling. And then there is Crazy Slick. Now, who was Crazy Slick? Well, Crazy Slick was one of Mizkif's friends. He was on his streams a lot. He was a member of sort of the Austin streaming community. He was a pretty famous guy. But he was kind of like a B-tier guy, obviously, compared to Mizkif, because Mizkif is just so famous, right? But this You know, this goober right here, Crazy Slick, he was huge on Twitch. He was huge at the time. He had a lot of connections. He was doing very well. Well, apparently behind the scenes some stuff was going on, and this was all exposed because Mizkif decided to respond to Trainwrecks one day. So Trainwrecks was tweeting about, you know, gambling a lot. Mizkif was too, because that's the hot issue. And here Mizkif tweets, if we're going to deplatform people for scamming others, shouldn't we have banned you for Jolt coin a few years back? I guess referring to some sort of crypto scam, quote unquote, that he believed that Train had supported, right? And was kind of rugging his audience. Well, Train was not going to take this lying down. So he responds, are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail me like you did all those girls to cover up all those sexual... You scumbag piece of shit. You want to come at me and make shit up, then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house. Trainwrecks goes off. He goes off and he makes an accusation that Mizkif sent two people, Maya Higa and Mitch Jones, to cover up a sexual... All those girls. Sexual scumbag. Come at me. Glass house. This got wild. It got crazy. And as a result of this tweet, all of Twitch basically unraveled within the course of a few days. Information came out. It looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. At one point, Crazy Slick goes on the run. People don't know where he is. They think he's killed himself or something like that. Articles start coming out. Who is Crazy Slick? Twitch streamer accused of sexually fellow content creator Adriana Lee. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's pretty dark. Twitch star Crazy Slick has found himself in murky waters following a string of recent events. The 23-year-old has been accused of sexual misconduct by fellow streamer Adriana Lee. Here is Adriana Lee, right here. Adriana Lee is pretty popular in her own right. I actually saw her on Caleb Hammer's show, Financial Audit, where he broke down her poor use of finances, basically. This is titled, E-Girl's Going to Die in Poverty. Pretty funny title. He then did E-Girl's Going to Die in Poverty Again. So he's been getting pretty crazy with those titles. According to the latter, Crazy Slick made unwelcome advances towards her in January 2020. Crazy Slick currently has over 78,000 followers on the Amazon-owned platform and is fairly close to other streamers such as Maya and Matthew Mizkif. The drama was initiated following Twitch streamer Tyler Trainwrecks TV's claims of Mizkif and Maya covering up for sexual. He also revealed that Matthew had even blackmailed Tyler along with other girls. After a revelatory tweet, Adriana came forward to reveal that the alleged perpetrator was Crazy Slick. Since the allegations came to light, Slick has gone on to make a public statement. In a now-deleted tweet, he denied all accusatory claims, adding that his intentions were to help Adriana and not take undue advantage of her. He exclaimed, I've never sexually anyone and never will. I've never had any intentions of ever harming anyone. I go out of my way to check on someone and I get accused of this is unfair. I will be getting a lawyer ASAP, learning from Johnny Depp's situation and think fast. For context, Adriana recounted the streamer exploiting her by touching her inappropriately while she was in an inebriated state. The story basically is that she was drunk and he went in and touched her tit, right? That's what the claim was. For context, Adriana recounted the streamer exploiting her. She further claimed that both Maya and Mizkif had played a part in silencing her. According to the 22-year-old, I was told, it's okay, just come out about it so we don't have to kick Slick out. We'll come to a middle ground so we don't have to kick Slick out. You'll be fine. Adriana also suggested that her initial statement was filtered by Maya due to her close ties with Crazy Slick. She shared a Twitch clip of Mizkif's casual way of describing the entire situation. Matthew was heard defining it as sexual harassment at a low scale.
Of what you can deem of it, it's sexual harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit and really cared. I'm gonna turn this off if you're gonna be like this. I'll just turn it off. Of what you can deem of it, it's...
So that was what Miz said about it. He seemed to confirm it in some way. Popular streamers and content creators have weighed in on the controversy, with One True King co-founder Zach Asmongold expressing some rather strong opinions. During a live stream on September 20th, the MMORPG streamer went off on Crazy Slick after the latter compared his situation to that of Johnny Depp. Asmongold claimed, you lying piece of... You never got accused of... This is unfair. I'll be getting a lawyer as soon as possible. Learn from the Johnny Depp situation and think first. Last time I checked is you still have all 10 fingers, Slick. Asmongold continued further and added, the f*** are you doing? It's sitting around and talking about Johnny Depp. You're going to use his problem? His thing, where he lost his finger, he's got marks on him everywhere. He's got 10 years of assault charges with different witnesses and other people coming in over and over and over, and you have the audacity to go in and use this example to cover up for your slimy... So Asmongold, not a fan of Crazy Slick. Big shock, Asmongold, not a fan of Crazy Slick. He seemed to believe the allegations to an extent. On September 29th, 2022, YouTube gaming streamer Ludwig also discussed the debacle on the Yard podcast. He claimed to have received a direct message from Crazy Slick in which the latter requested the money that the YouTuber allegedly owed. Speaking of proof, you have something to do too. You haven't been doing your job. We need to do payouts for Multiversus tournament, and I got a DM from Crazy Slick, and he said, I think I'm going to go broke and I need money and I'm owed from this tournament you ran. So Crazy Slick gets his life destroyed. He loses all his money. He loses all his friends. Fans are upset. They don't know what's going on. It seems like a really dark thing that's happening right now, right? And Mizkif in present day is saying he's glad that Crazy Slick is gone.
So that's really it. In this whole thing, someone said a lot of people on you. Yeah, I lost a lot of friends, and I think that's pretty obvious. It sucks. I have lost a lot of friends. You know what? I come to realize is I don't have any. Come to realize that pretty quickly. Someone asked about Slick. Slick's gone. I know people probably assume that Slick's gone, and I am very glad that that piece of shit is out of my house.
So at the time he was defending Slick. Now in retrospect, seems like he has a very different opinion, right?
That's really it. Yep. I know people probably perceive that he's not out. He's gone.
He seems traumatized. He seems forlorn. He seems sad. So what is the truth behind these allegations? Well, you know, they are allegations. It's important to keep that in mind. That being said, there seems to be some impression, even among his friends, that he did do this. Slick denied it. Mizkif seems to be somewhat confirming it with the clip of him that, you know, we saw Adriana react to. With this clip, he says he's a piece of shit. Asmongold seemed to believe it. Everybody seems to think there's something going on here, right? Well, I've made a development in the story, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I have obtained court documents related to a lawsuit that I believe Adriana Lee has filed against Mizkif and his little gaming group, his business. And we're going to be going over that today. I don't think this has been seen by the public, really. It may have been in some other YouTube video that I haven't seen, but I don't think it's really been gone over extensively. And I have someone helping me out here. I have a law student here today to help me out, look over it. And help me out understanding legalese, going over this court case, and understand what's going on. He tried to argue since there was no penetration, it wasn't so bad. I haven't seen that. That's interesting, though. But yeah, so we're going to call my buddy, my quote-unquote lawyer, who's not really a lawyer. We're going to talk to him about it. We have a lot of court documents to go over. I don't think Destiny has seen this stuff. I don't think almost anyone has seen what I'm about to go over. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going? Going good. How are you?
Good. Good.
So I've informed Chad of the context clues behind the situation. From what I understand, we have a lot of legal documents to go over today.
Yes. A couple.
All right. Well, I guess to set up the context basically for them, there's a lawsuit. Who is suing who?
Yeah, so the lawsuit is Adriana Lee suing, she's suing a bunch of people. She's suing OTK, the company as a whole. She's suing Mizkif. She's suing Mizkif's company, Mizkif Enterprise. And
Gotcha.
then she's suing Maya Higa, and then also Crazy Slick.
Gotcha. And One True
So,
King is
all of them.
this very big group consisting of, it seems that Asmongold is a part of it, Mizkif is a part of it, Emiru, I guess Jay Schlatt's a part of it. I think this is Esfon TV.
Yeah, Rich Campbell is a part of it.
Yeah, Rich Campbell, I remember that. Vincent Sear, Onision's former roommate. So a lot of stuff. A lot of
Yes.
big people are involved in this suit. Now, if they're suing the business, does that mean that these individuals are also brought into the lawsuit or no? Unless they're shareholders?
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically if the business has to pay, they would all have to, like it would be the business paying, so it would be all their money.
Okay.
But yeah, but individually, no, not at all.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah. So, 1 second. I gotta subscribe to Nitro real quick
You're good.
because
OTK did not steal from charity. I haven't heard about them stealing from charity. Schlatt left. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Jay Schlatt leaves. I guess he did leave OTK. Jay Schlatt confirms departure so he can fulfill his goals. Looks like he left in December of 2022, so about a year and 2 months ago, year and 3 months. Is Jay Schlatt a chat favorite? Is Jay Schlatt funny? Is he keck? Is he doing good stuff? What do you guys think? Did Miz beat the allegations? No, I mean, he lost a lot of friends. I think he lost a lot of connections. I mean, he's still a full-time streamer doing pretty well. I think his income actually got leaked. Mizkif reveals he makes 80K a month from Twitch ad revenue. Instead, his normal weekly income is usually 20 to 25K. There you go. He's doing quite well. He's doing just fine. I think he'll be all right. This is from September of 2023, so this is after the allegations. Jay Schlatt used to be pretty funny to me. Now he's just whatever. Cool guy, though. Gotcha. I saw a video Jay Schlatt did recently that was pretty good. It was about like selling cigarettes to children. Yeah, this one, my worst business idea. Yeah, this one was pretty funny. I like that one. I don't really watch him regularly though. Like I don't really care to watch him react to TikToks or whatever. Not really my thing, I would say. Mizkif didn't lose too many friends. Still collab with top streamers and Moist. Well, he must have lost a few of them. All right, so here we have. Should I pull this up on stream?
Yeah, you can.
All right, so here we have, and this is everything's redacted from this already.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so here we have.
I hope.
Well, I assume it is. If not, we can censor it in post, obviously. Here we have the lawsuit. Here we have. This is the first amended complaint. We've got a lot of redacted names here and stuff, just as not to trip YouTube's privacy
Yeah, you
issues.
can just ask me. I can tell you who it is, so it's fine.
Gotcha. All right, so should I just start reading from a certain page, or what should I do?
So I mean, you can start. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to read the specifics too much. You can just scroll down. Mostly, you can actually where it says facts. You might want to read that. So scroll down.
Gotcha.
After parties.
After parties. Parties. Jurisdiction, venue, facts. Here we go. All right. Facts. Twitch streamers play video games online for the enjoyment and entertainment of an audience that in turn supports their business through donations, subscriptions, paid sponsorships, and promotions. Success can be measured through various means, such as by the size of a streamer's audience, number of subscribers, volume of donations, and number of sponsorships. As audience size increases, generally the number of subscriptions, donations, and sponsorships will also increase, directly correlating to an increase in income. One of the most significant means of increasing audience size is for various streamers to stream jointly, thereby gaining access to each other's audience. A significant and important aspect of the streaming business is thus networking. Plaintiff was and had been at the time of the incidents in question an online streamer appearing primarily through the Twitch service and occasionally on YouTube. So this is Adriana Lee as the plaintiff, basically. And what they're talking about here is just the fact that Twitch is a very, I mean, I wouldn't word it as nicely. I'd say Twitch is a very incestuous culture in which the way you get famous is by collabing with other bigger streamers and just being friends with the right people. And that's always been my problem with Twitch, just this like weird high school drama sort of aspect to it where everybody has to be like friends to kind of get famous. I'm thankful that on YouTube it's not really that way. Like you can kind of exist without anyone. You can just make content. But on these streams, especially the just chatting stuff, you know, you really, it's really kind of a necessary component to be friends with some of these guys to get big.
Yeah, and it's weird because I mean, it seems like they don't take it that seriously. Like when Twitch streamers when they go out and are hanging out with each other, because I feel like it seems like all their careers, you know, hang on a dime, and
Yeah,
if
exactly.
anything goes wrong, then it's like all over. So
They don't, despite the fact that their business is their interpersonal relationships, they don't have any sense of
Yeah.
professionalism around it, unfortunately. So now we get to number 13, article 13, I guess. This seems to be addressing the night that these things happened. While attending a friend's birthday party on January 19th, 2020, a party attended by a significant number of Twitch streamers who live and work in the Austin area, plaintiff was assaulted. Multiple witnesses are able to confirm that Crazy Slick, a streamer known as Crazy Slick, whatever, and then residing in blank, came up to the plaintiff while she was unconscious and proceeded to touch and fondle private areas of her person. Crazy Slick has been an apparently popular online streamer with over 70,000 subscribed followers on Twitch and over 264,000 total views on YouTube. That's not very many views on YouTube at all, by the way. 260,000 on your entire channel is like nothing. So they're basically just, I mean, I don't know if this is like intentional, but they're kind of slyly calling him irrelevant on YouTube in a way.
I feel like they would want to build him up. Actually, I think they're actually have the other opposite intent where they're trying to make him look bigger than he is, so that they could get more money in the future.
So you think this number is just being posed to like make a boomer think that's a lot?
Yeah, that's definitely it. I don't think that would be like much of a dig.
Gotcha. Nothing happened in the immediate aftermath of his assault. Plaintiff, concerned about the impact on her streamer career as well as the emotional harm she feared she would suffer from public knowledge of such event, decided to remain silent at the time and not publicly disclose the assault, although she did relevantly tell her friend, known online as Novaru. On or about July 6, 2021, Miss Powell publicly disclosed what had happened to plaintiff via an online stream on the Twitch service. Later on in the day, on July 6th, plaintiff found herself confronted and ambushed by a group of online personalities who confronted her at the home of a mutual acquaintance and ignored all entreaties to leave. Blank, known online as Barry, Mitch Jones, known alone as Mitch Jones, and Maya Higa, known simply by her name. Although,
Tom,
what's up?
yeah, just I know because this is your first time talking about this at all, right?
Yes.
I was just wondering, what was your opinion on Novaru, like, because she like just talked about it without anybody, like she was just some random stranger who knew, and without anybody, including Adriana Lee, wanting, she went and made it public. Like, if there's like one person who you can say that is the dickhead, as a dickhead in the whole situation, I think you could probably say it's her.
The thing I don't
even Adriana
understand
Lee would agree.
is I thought that it came out because of Miz's tweet, because Mizkif, or sorry, because Miz tweeted and then Trainwreck responded by talking about it, right? He was like, "Why don't you go send people to railroad and blackmail your friends again?"
No, it weirdly coincided at the stars aligned, right?
Weird.
Is like Novaru talks about it on stream, and Mizkif finds out that this happened, and then he sends the three of them, which are about to read in a second. He sends the three of them over to Adriana Lee's house to do damage control. And then a couple days afterwards is when
saw my camming friends.
The whole Trainwreck stuff happens.
Okay, because I looked up Novaru to see what kind of content she makes. She only has 10,000 subs. She's a very flexible young woman, I guess. This is her content. Very amazing, talented. She's using her brain here, guys. This is intelligent stuff. Whatever the she's doing right here. So, just so you guys can see, this is the kind of person, intelligent individual we're dealing with here. But so Novaru talks about it on stream, I guess. She disclosed what had happened to the plaintiff via an online stream. Later on in the day, plaintiff found herself confronted and ambushed by a group of online personalities who confronted her at the home of a mutual acquaintance and ignored all entreaties to leave. So Mitch is there, Maya's there. Although these people were known to plaintiff, Higa was not a personal friend, and plaintiff had only recently met her at a social event. Higa's presence was odd and not at all reasonable. Higa began badgering plaintiff, demanding to know the truth of what happened and insisting that Slick would never do something like that he was a good guy. Well, Higa also sought to cast doubt upon plaintiff's memory of the event and knowledge of what actually happened. So basically, she goes there. She's like, he's a good guy. That didn't happen, blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's what this lawsuit alleges anyway. Having bedeviled plaintiff during a period of emotional distress with her personal concerns broadcast to the public at large, Higa sought to emotionally undermine and manipulate plaintiff, materially misrepresenting the plaintiff that if she were to say something on the topic that Higa knew, as a fellow woman, the plaintiff would be hated, and argued that plaintiff would become isolated in the Twitch streaming community. So she basically was like, no one's going to believe you, you're going to be seen as a bitch and a hoe and whatever. Higa also sought to engage in manipulation. Yeah. Higa also sought to engage in further manipulation, telling plaintiff that Slick was her best friend and roommate, and that she could not bear to have her best friend cast out. Higa, in making these representations, depended upon her status as a well-known online streamer to help induce plaintiff's reliance upon her. Matthew, whatever his name is, known online as Mizkif, is an exceedingly influential streamer. This is all true. We know this. This is all real. When plaintiff informed Higa she would be making a public statement, Higa intensely pressured plaintiff not to let whatever the this is, to let this person speak about it instead. And when plaintiff insisted that she would create a public statement utilizing the TwitLonger service, Higa would not depart, but forcibly insisted on monitoring and editing what plaintiff wrote. Higa wouldn't leave her alone until she had edited and altered her statement to suit her own purposes. She insisted and forced the statement to disclaim that Crazy Slick had assaulted the plaintiff, edited down discussion of plaintiff's victimization, and would not cease her importuning of plaintiff until Higa had dictated the language of the statement. Following, Higa was still not depart until the statement was published and posted online by plaintiff. So they go to the house, they're like, if you're going to post a statement, I need to review it, and they wouldn't leave until she posted it, is what she's saying, basically.
Yes, that's correct.
That's essentially what they're saying here. Throughout this time, Higa would speak of blank and blank, stating that Crazy Slick was Mizkif's rock, his best friend, and that he would be going live online soon, so they had to figure this out. Afterward, someone sent a message to plaintiff stating he felt responsible for blank as if it was his child. I assume this is Mizkif sent a message to Adriana saying that he felt responsible for Crazy Slick and that as if it was his child. He was his child, right?
Yes.
So he's like
Yes.
he like feels like he's like his big his little brother basically. He loves this guy to death.
Yeah, that's why I was just watching what you were watching before this. That's why it's so surprising that seems to be. The one thing I can tell you, the summary of this whole thing is Mizkif definitely doesn't give a shit about what he did, what Crazy Slick did to Adrian Ali, right? So them not being friends right now, I promise you, it doesn't have to do with. Like I'm sure the PR answer is that it does, but I think once you continue looking at everything and you see all the text and you see everything, I don't know. He just doesn't see. He does not seem to care as much about like whether Crazy Slick actually did it, and he cares more about what it looks like.
Right.
To me, at
Yeah.
least.
Well, did you see? I don't know if they put this in here, but there's a clip of Mizkif saying that what happened was it was low level sexual assault and it doesn't really matter. Have you seen that?
They have it all in there. Yeah.
They do. Okay.
Everything.
I guess that
Yeah.
would make sense. Obviously.
Yeah, they actually included every. You'll see it right now. You'll go through it, but they included everything you could imagine.
Gotcha. Mizkif and Higa acted individually and jointly to aid and abet their friend by seeking out and intimidating and emotionally compromising his victim in order to limit the impact created by public disclosure of Crazy Slick's wrongdoing. In this fashion, they participated in and become parties in his wrongful conduct. Moreover, his actions, by virtue of his clear and apparent representative authority on behalf of OTK, make his actions indistinguishable from those of OTK himself. So they're saying Mizkif's actions is basically making him indistinguishable from OTK, right? That's what they're saying here.
Yeah, they're saying that's why they're saying they included OTK, because even though OTK technically as a company didn't do anything, Mizkif's actions.
Mizkif is
was
OTK.
OTK's actions.
Right.
Exactly. That's what they're trying to argue.
In the wake of this reemergence, plaintiff made the brave decision to openly discuss what happened online within her online videos. In the aftermath of public disclosure, okay, wait, here we have so I skipped a line. On the Article 24, they're saying basically Trainwreck's accused Matt of orchestrating the cover-up, Mizkif. And then in the wake of the reemergence, she then decided to talk about it, which we know. In the aftermath, Higa and Mizkif utilized their status in public as well as their association with each other, and as well as Mizkif's association with OTK to further damage her credibility and reputation in the online game streaming industry by publicly treating the event and representations made of their followers and subscribers as being a non-event, something that no one cared about, and further describing it as low scale and not really a big deal. Further allegations were made that plaintiff had committed.
These are the defamation part. This is the defamation part here.
So they're saying that she's suing them for defamation.
Correct. She's suing them for defamation. You see right under it says defamation.
Yes. So okay, gotcha. She's also saying that they hurt her credibility, reputation, business, and emotional well-being. Cumulatively, Higa and Mizkif.
That's the three names is Mizkif, Higa, and Crazy Slick.
Okay. Cumulatively, all of them and the companies which they control and or for which they're representatives, which is ME, LLC, and OTK, have degraded and harmed plaintiff's reputation in the online streaming community. ME, I assume, is Mizkif, right? Mizkif Enterprises.
Yeah, that's her. Yes, correct.
Okay. Thereby interfering with business sponsorships, interfering with her credibility and relationship with her subscribers and followers, and thereby subjecting plaintiff to economic harm and increased harassment. She's saying basically they strided to ruin her career. Attached here to and fully incorporated herein by reference is the unsworn declaration of plaintiffs and exhibited attached there too, in order to establish facts supporting each claim and cause of action as well as damages suffered. Okay, so this is where things get a lot more technical, I guess, just with specifics. Basically.
No, I would just the first part, the under defamation. These two lines are the exact quotes that they're suing for. Is this one and the one below it. So the paragraph right there that starts with 90%.
Gotcha.
He said this in a video. I'm not sure if you can find it. I think it's. You may have already even played it. I think it's the one where he's playing WoW. But he says 90% of people look. I don't think there's a single person who used to hang out with. You can go ahead.
Right. Yeah. This is the clip that I saw of him playing WoW. That was on stream? He said that though.
Yes, that was on stream when he said that.
That's insane. That's insane.
So yeah, that's one quote, and then if you scroll right below it, there's another one. I think that one, the second one was maybe it was in the call. I believe is the second one was the one that was in the call. Number 32.
Is this the call with Mitch Jones?
Yeah, so it's the call with Mick Jones and Asmongold and Trainwreck.
Okay, gotcha. Plaintiff incorporates the foregoing paragraphs 10 through 28 as it fully set forth herein. As described above, the defendants, acting in concert, basically just acting together, engaged in acts that defame plaintiff by falsely accusing her of illegal conduct by causing... what do they mean by illegal conduct?
By falsely accusing her of... Well, you can... It says right there. In one of the videos, he accuses her of... Mizkif accuses her of groping someone called, I don't know, CYR. I don't know who that is.
Sear, okay. By causing harm to her reputation for honesty and credibility in the public and attempting to downplay and obscure the harm done to plaintiff by blank. More specifically, on or about September 10th, 2021, Mizkif made the following statement during an online video. 90% of people, look, I don't think there's a single person we used to hang out with that doesn't hang out with Slick anymore because of what happened. I actually think there's literally none. Because the reality is, worst comes to worst of it, it's like sexual harassment, right? I mean, like, who gives like no one. What you can deem of it is sexual harassment, whatever, at a low scale. It's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit or really cared. When people like to think of it, when people like think of it, they think he stuck his dick inside her without her consent. And I'm like, that's what people perceive it as. This statement.
So now do you think he can stop being friends with Crazy Slick because
certainly
because
not at the time. certainly not at the time. It seems like now he did. It seems like maybe now he has, but I don't know if that's because he thought Slick did anything wrong or if it was because Slick caused him issues. It's hard for me to tell how he feels, you know. This statement produced to an entire online audience falsely alleged that the wrongdoing of blank was without impact, that the status of the victim did not matter. This is Crazy Slick. Was without impact. That the status of the victim did not matter and carried it with it the implicit falsity that no significant harm was done. Thank you, Ball Fart, for the $5 dono. Don't forget to poop Max and Bone Smash. I agree with that, and as does my my co-star today. Are you poop maxing?
Of course.
Okay, based.
How else? What else would I be doing?
That's true. True. On or about September 23rd, Mizkif made the following statement to other online streamers: David, Mitch Jones, Asmongold, Trainwreck, XUC, and Barry. The only time ever I did not want to hang out with Adriana is we went to 6th Street and she was groping Sear and it was very weird and we stopped hanging out with her and that was it. This false statement of fact was defamation per se. It's taken in context in which it was made to multiple third parties and directly accused plaintiff of a criminal act. So she's saying that didn't happen, right?
Yeah. So she even includes a screenshot as evidence of a text between them. So you'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, she definitely does.
The statements made by defendant were false, were defamatory, and were made with malicious intent.
The rest is useless gibberish. As you don't really gotta just.
So they're just
only thing you gotta
here. They're just saying they slandered her, right?
Yeah, it's just that it's a defamation, and then the main thing is she asks for $600K.
The conduct of defendants jointly and severally was the proximate cause of damages suffered by plaintiff in a sum of not less than $600,000, and that's the total amount she's seeking.
The way I read actually the lawsuit is that she's asking because I think she asked for $600K for each count, but the others, their lawyers seem to think it's just $600K flat.
Okay,
so,
gotcha. And this is for just like lost streaming revenue. Now, the thing to me that I'm curious about is, I guess in my mind, Adriana Lee, I mean, she's not like completely irrelevant or anything. I'm not trying to on her here, you know, when we're going over her case.
We can see she puts her own stream income in if you keep going right now.
She does. I actually think I know what she makes because she did have you seen Caleb Hammer on YouTube?
I've heard of the name before.
He does a financial audit where he goes over people's finances.
Oh yes.
He did videos with her where he was like, it's titled "E-Girl is Going to Die in Poverty," where he basically just called her stupid and said she doesn't know how to spend her money or save it rather. But okay, so where does she go over her income in this?
So just keep scrolling, and you'll find it yourself if you keep going. Get to exhibit. I think you might want to read exhibit A. That is her statement to the court.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah,
it says unsworn.
She talks a lot. Yeah, it's unsworn, but they still submit it to the court, so you can't be.
Is she going to read this in court, or has
It's just
she?
because she never had to. No, if it ended up mattering, she would have, but it didn't end up.
Physically,
So.
are they going to go to court together, like where she sees Miz in her courtroom?
If you don't ever have to. There's absolutely no reason. But if they want to, yeah, they could. There were a bunch of hearings, if that's what you mean.
Okay, gotcha. All right. My name is Adriana Lee. I'm over 18 years of age, of sound mind, and fully competent to make this declaration. I have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein, and they are all true and correct. I reviewed the document to which this unsworn declaration is attached, and all statements of fact contained therein are true and correct on my personal knowledge. On January 19th, I attended a friend's birthday party here in Austin. A significant number of Twitch streamers who live in and work in the Austin area were also in attendance. One of the attendees was Crazy Slick, who is a streamer online known as Crazy Slick, and who at the time of the party resided in Austin. At one point during the party, I fell unconscious. Multiple attendees have confirmed to me that while I was unconscious, Crazy Slick came up to me and touched and fondled private areas of my person, including my breasts, while I lay unconscious and helpless. I was informed privately of what happened at the party shortly thereafter. Initially, I chose not to take any action. I was concerned that doing so could have a deleterious impact on my career. Deleterious. We're gonna look this up. Deleterious, causing harm or damage.
Deleterious,
dude. I was right.
I feel like her lawyer team helped her write this.
Yeah, I would guess. I wouldn't even use that word. And I'm a genius, dude.
Of course.
Deleterious impact on my career as an online streamer and subject me to all kinds of scrutiny and public commentary under which women have historically suffered when victimized. I chose to remain silent in order to limit further emotional distress and hardship as a victim of such an unwarranted and horrific act, as I believe so many women have done so over the course of time. However, on or about July 6, 2021, I became aware that Novaru, a friend to whom I had spoken about my experience, had disclosed what happened to me via an online Twitch stream. The fact of my experience being disclosed without permission was deeply disconcerting. I did not want to speak with anyone. I did not want to deal with the streaming community or have it to relive the emotional turbulence those events had caused. I felt bereft and emotionally distraught. I was hurt, feeling angry, fearful, scared of what this disclosure could mean for me, and distressed that I was having to relive what happened. David Mitch Jones has made several attempts to call me after things came out, but I did not feel up to talking. I ultimately chose to visit a friend in order to ask his advice on what to do. Later that same day, while I was present at his home, 3 people showed up and confronted me about Novaru's publication. Known online as Barry, David Mitch Jones, known online as Mitch Jones, and Maya Higa. None of them had requested to speak. I don't even know who is Barry. I don't even know who Barry is. Barry streamer. Barry was streaming. Is it this guy? Who the fuck is Barry?
Barry? Oh, I know. I remember him when I was researching this
Barry
story,
OTK.
but I honestly,
Is this Barry? This must be Barry.
yeah, that's.
He kind of looks like Casey Neistat. He kind of looks like
a Barry.
he looks like Casey Neistat with his nose pushed in instead of pulled out, like a Dr. Seuss character. There they are, hanging out.
I
Dude.
see what you mean.
Okay, all right.
He's got that look.
He does. Hey Tom, I love your vids. I was wondering if you make a video about yourself, would you rather make another YouTuber documentary about you? I would not. I feel like making a video about myself is a conflict of interest. No, I feel like someone else should do that. Yeah, I feel like it's like I'm telling my own story. Obviously, I'm going to think I'm awesome and paint myself in a sympathetic light, you know. Anyway, none of them had requested to speak to me, nor had they given me any notice they would be appearing. So they just showed up like the Sopranos to have a talk.
Yeah.
My understanding.
Well, it's because they saw the Novaru went on stream and said it, so
right.
the bat signal went off, and
so they're like, hey, yo, Adriana, we gotta have a talk, all right? Hey, I hear you talking about my boy Crazy Slick. We're going to have to make you an offer you can't refuse. Okay. Anyway, my understanding is that Mizkif must have reached out to Kyle as the two are or were friends, and thus learned of my location in that fashion. Although I considered. I think Mizkif and David Mitch Jones as friends, especially odd that Maya Higa will be present. Is this Miz?
Yes. No.
Okay.
Let me double check. I'll double check that for you.
Yeah, that'll be good. I assume it's him, but
let me see this. Although I considered, no. So that's Barry.
That's Barry. Okay. Although I considered Barry and Mitch Jones as friends, it was especially odd that Maya will be present. Okay, so Miz didn't actually go there. He wasn't at the house.
No, he did not.
Maya is not someone I've ever been personally familiar with, and in fact, to the best of my recollection, the first time I ever met Maya Higa was at a party earlier that July. I didn't want to speak to them, but I felt that since we were all guests at someone else's residence, I didn't think I could ask them to leave. At that time, it was a matter of common knowledge in the streaming community that Maya and Miz were dating and living together.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It was also widely known in the streaming community at the time that that Barry was roommates with Miz. All three were residing in the same residence located in Austin, whatever, along with David Mitch Jones. They're very popular streamers, blah, 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 blah. Generally speaking, the conversation with the three spiraled into a circular dialogue. Blank Mitch Jones, I think this is.
Yeah.
Mitch Jones mainly did not speak, but would listen to what I said. Okay, wait, this is not. So this
No,
must
so
be
that Barry.
That's Barry. Okay, Barry didn't speak. Jones became erratic, first stating he did not believe Crazy Slick would ever do something like I described. He was a good guy, and then nervously leaving the room multiple times as I spoke. Maya, however, dominated the conversation. She did not just ask me about my experience, but used language I felt was undermining and even belittling. She began by protesting that Slick would never do something like that, and he was a good guy, before badgering me with belittling questions when I disagreed, asking if I had been drunk, asking if I disliked him, and circling back when I responded to her by asking if I was sure. My clear sense of her statements and her tone was to pressure and cast doubt upon what I was saying. I began the conversation feeling emotionally fragile and felt increasingly distraught as it went on. Maya directly stated to me that if I came out and said something about what happened to me, that people would hate me, that I would never be invited to things, and that she was a woman in this space and that I could trust her because she knew how it was. She was confirming all of my worst fears for my career as an online streamer. Maya further stated that Crazy Slick was Mizkif's best friend, and that if I said something, Crazy Slick would have to be kicked out, and that Mizkif couldn't stand that. I took this statement to be an ultimatum by Maya. When I asked her why she would say that, she responded that, well, it's out now, so we have to deal with it. My very clear impression of her statement is that Maya meant that she and Mizkif would have to deal with it, and that Crazy Slick's actions have become public knowledge. Under pressure, I admitted my intention to publish a Twitlonger online statement. Maya sought to discourage me from making it, try to persuade me to publish it anonymously, and to instead have, I think this is Miz, speak about the situation on his Twitch live stream. I refused both of those. So this is where we kind of know this situation, but they're just like, don't do it. And then they end up, basically pressuring her to only post a statement a certain way, basically.
Yeah. She talks about the text she got, but we'll see that in the attachments. You don't need to read that. You can just
well, I do see here. I guess I'll just go over it while we're here. Later I received notice from an acquaintance, Blank, stating that he was at Blank's home when Blank, David Miss Jones, and Maya returned, and they described it as having bailed Slick out. Afterward, I received a message from Blank. Who is this, Barry?
Yeah, well, one moment later.
We're on page 18.
Yeah,
page 18.
yeah.
Okay.
So later I received from no, actually, you know what? I don't know. He's just some guy who's a friend of theirs.
Okay.
There's really this is a new name.
She received a text from this guy stating, "Hey, sorry about this with Slick. Kills me. For some reason, I feel responsible because I'm like his father." In his stream immediately prior, Blank did legitimately appear to defend me from several insulting comments online. However, in the aftermath, I noticed that Mitch Jones had previously stated to me that he would be inviting me to his upcoming album.
No. That text that you just described, that one was from Mizkif.
Okay, that's what I was thinking because it said, it said the thing about his son.
That one's from Mizkif.
Okay. In the aftermath,
he just got the other person just texted her, basically saying that Barry, Mitch Jones, and Maya Higa described like when they got back after talking to her, they described the incident as like, oh, we bailed Slick out, like, oh, we did it.
Right. Okay. So then she says basically that Mitch had previously invited her to his album release party held in the same house where he and Maya lived, and then she didn't get invited. Around 2 days later, Mitch Jones stated to me that everyone in the household was scum, and that the way I was treated was disgusting, and apologized that he had tried to defend Slick previously. He indicated he would be leaving and moving to Los Angeles. After July 6th, it felt like fewer networking opportunities in the streaming industry were available to me. I was receiving fewer invitations to parties and streaming events, as well as opportunities to interact in the industry, and received notice that I think this is Miz, right?
That's Chris Slick.
Oh, this is Slick. Okay. Crazy Slick was
Yeah,
telling people
whenever
not to
it's
interact
two
with
when
him.
it's two dashes, that's crazy slick.
Okay. It seemed to become harder and harder to develop collaborations with other streamers, whereby different streamers would interact or appear on each other's online videos, whatever. Sponsorships, which should provide funding for mentions, declined almost totally. The number of insulting or actively threatening comments I received online increased significantly over the months following. On September 10th, 2021, Mizkif made the following statement orally during a World of Warcraft online live stream, and we have seen this. This clip is the one.
Of what you can deem of it, it's sexual harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit.
I like
Really
the burp in the
cared.
middle. Really
Yeah,
accentuates the fact he doesn't care.
sells it.
Of what you can deem of it, it's harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal.
So there's that clip.
I don't think that's a burp. I feel like that's probably from World of Warcraft.
Right. All right. And what I presume was a response to the statements issued on September 19th. A telephone call involving blank. Is this Miz?
Yeah.
Involving Mizkif, Mitch Jones, Asmongold, Trainwrecks, XQC, and Barry was apparently leaked and went public on YouTube. I listened to the entire call. I'm personally familiar with Miz's voice, having met him at industry events, and for listening to his online productions, was able to hear him say the following. All right.
So that's, if you haven't played the call on stream yet, that's the relevant part, so it's worth reading.
I actually haven't played it on stream.
Yeah. So yeah.
I woke up, I remember the whole day. It was one of the scariest days of my life. My best friend in the whole world, Slick, is getting accused of people saying he's about to get canceled. I run to his room. Maya's crying. I'm freaking the out and hyperventilating. Mitch is there. We're all trying to figure out what the we can do for my best friend, right? I care about Slick. I do. I love the guy. And people were telling us, mainly Barry, that, yo, Adriana Lee's about to come out with some because Novaru the night before said some. I'm freaking out and I'm literally crying because I'm saying to myself, I'm going to lose my best friend. I'm going to lose my best friend in the entire world. Maya is upset. Mitch is sitting there. We're all freaking out. So what I did is I tried to get answers. I tried to get, what is Adriana Lee thinking? What's going on here? What's going on with my best friend? I didn't go because you know why I didn't go? I knew that if I went, it would have looked immediately like a power play. Because it would have. If I went there and I was sitting there, 30K Andy against all these people, it's going to look like a power play and it's going to look bad. The reason why I sent Maya is because Maya is much more liked. People respect her. And I feel Maya can talk to these girls because I want to know what the fuck went on with my best friend. I knew for a fact that Adriana was not going to give me any information because she wouldn't talk to Mitch. She wouldn't talk to either of us. And Maya is someone that is actually liked. If your best friend was possibly losing his entire life and career, right, would you not try to send somebody to try and understand what happened? I sent Maya there, and I think I did nothing wrong by sending Maya and Mitch because there I wanted to know the situation. I wanted Slick to be okay. Now, did I tell Maya to say all that stuff? No, I don't believe Maya would say that, but if she did, I would never say that. Hey, by the way, this is going to make your career weird. I'm smart. I would never say to someone to do that. When your best friend's getting canceled, man, I'm sorry. You want to act. I'm sorry. You just want to act. Basically, me, Maya, and Slick were in a room, and Mitch, and we were trying to figure out what to do and how to make sure that we can, talk to Adriana Lee and figure out what the is going on. We called her 12 times, but she didn't respond. But she was answering. She was answering Barry. She was tiptoeing around when Mitch was calling. She wouldn't tell any of us the story of what happened. She didn't answer, so we called Barry.
Yeah.
In the same telephone conversation, Miz, who I'm personally familiar with, can clearly be heard to additionally say it was basically Maya gaslighting Adriana the whole time, basically saying, are you sure this is what Slick did to you? You were pretty drunk. You wouldn't remember it. Are you sure? Doesn't sound like something Slick would do. Slick, like that. And then she was like, if you twit longer Crazy Slick, this won't be good for your streaming career. And then they were telling her what to write in the twit longer so it wouldn't look bad for Crazy Slick. Okay, gotcha.
So that was Barry. That quote you just heard is from Barry.
Okay, that was from Barry, not Mizkif.
Yeah.
So Barry says what actually happened. Barry at least doesn't seem comfortable with what the was going on.
Yeah, Barry's the one who did not seem. Barry and Mitch Jones seem to be the two not comfortable with the situation.
Right.
And then that's the income part.
Let's see what she's making. January 2021, $3,000, $8,000, $8,000. Why is it fluctuating so much? It's going up and down.
So when did the train wreck stuff happen, right? I would assume it absolutely peaked there.
Good question. Mizkif, Adriana Lee, Sportskeeda. It looks like September 2022. So 2022, if we look at September, she did. So in August she was doing $2,000, and then she did 8,500, and then it went down to 1,000 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she had a big spike. Big spike. And then in 2023, the interest in supporting myself, my streaming career has become mostly part-time, and then we have basically no money. She's making nothing. Kind of sad. So she's basically saying that she's owed 600 grand from these people because of what they did.
Yeah. So you can keep scrolling, and that's the text between Mizkif and her. So I don't know if you want to. That's probably worth reading.
I understand what you're saying, and I want to say I'm extremely sorry about that clip. I hate that this should happen with Slick. It makes me sad that he's gone to the length, and your Twitter feed showed a lot that I never knew. I'm dealing with this, and Slick won't be around anymore. Yo, can we talk? I understand if you don't want to.
That's
or
her
what the
phone
situation
number.
is. Okay. Or is it her? Is it his though? Right?
Hey,
It's his.
sorry, his.
I'm sorry Slick acted this way toward you, and I'm sorry about the post. Hey, sorry about this with Slick. Kills you for some reason. Blah blah blah. Because I'm like his father. Sorry, I hope you okay. No, but she tried to message me. So did she respond with this?
Yes.
So why was she forgiving of him at the time? I guess would be my question.
In the beginning, I don't, because in the beginning, this is before it went public. This is before any of the chain wreck stuff. So I don't know. She switched on them with the train wreck stuff.
Gotcha.
So train wreck set the whole ablaze. I mean, like this lawsuit would not exist without.
So it seems
right?
like maybe she just didn't understand that they were trying to cover it up before that. Maybe she described more innocent intent. Maybe.
Yeah. My question is, do you think who do you think is funding this lawsuit for her?
I have no idea. Oh wait, is it Train?
Dude, it's gotta be.
I thought he said maybe publicly that he would help her.
He has to be paying every dollar.
He might be. I mean, he's also. I mean, he's.
You know why? Because this lawsuit cost her a lot of money.
Do you know how much?
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess, by the end, narratively. But I mean, I can tell you her cost alone were probably around, her lawyer fees were probably around 50K.
Oh!
Yeah, 30 to 50K. 30 to 50K.
No reason to be sorry because it's not your fault. You're his friend, and I understand where you're coming from. Thank you for being really understanding. And I noticed you shut down a lot of the trolls on stream saying things like, but if he looks like Hassan and stuff, and I really, really appreciate it. I can defend myself and women in general until I run out of breath, but most guys don't listen until they hear from another guy, so thank you. Can you call me? Can you call? The rest is only word of mouth. I'm going to be real. This is the hardest thing in my life. Can we talk? I want to apologize, figure out what's going on. There's no way you don't know what's going on. I don't. I'm very disgusted about what you said in your alt stream. It's very disheartening and disrespectful, not only to me, but victims everywhere. The situation should have been handled differently from the beginning, and you know that, but you wanted to save your own ass and didn't take me seriously. Damn. Talking about Destiny. Dude, Destiny doing that is garbage. I mean that as in most chats are done reacting to the drama and have moved on. Yes, I clearly f***ed up. I should have never let my image go there. There was a huge f*** up, and I feel like shit for it, and I should have kicked Slick out in the first place. Why do they even send these chats? I don't understand why they even say this in like a public chat.
Yeah, Destiny was probably the biggest streamer most accurately following everything going on.
Yeah.
And he was I mean, he was riling everybody up, as Destiny does.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, this video got 1 million views, the Mizkif call, and then part 2 got 2 million. Sorry, got 600,000. Destiny watches Mizkif VODS and uncovers a big lie, 400,000. Mizkif and OTK break their silence, 300K. Mizkif and Maya cover up SA allegations, 400K, killing it. Skibbity, Ohio, Mog, Phantom Tax, Coat, Mauled, and Sneed. Thank you very much, Gamma, for the 10. All of that is true, and also
I'm
Poop Maxing.
surprised Destiny hasn't followed up.
He's just been busy with other stuff, I assume. Yeah, but that
Okay.
is a good question. I don't know why. Has he gone over this lawsuit at all? I don't think he has.
I don't think he has at all.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's just malding about the fact that public information is being covered. I want to make it clear that harassment is about the Discord logs and comments Slick made toward every girl who came forward. Slick sexually Adriana, and there's no excuse for it. Her story deserves to be told, and I'm glad she was able to share it fully. Here's his statement. So this is when...
yeah, that's his public statement.
After it went down, I remember there was like a story about how Crazy Slick had, like, he ran, and they didn't know where he was, and they thought he was going to off himself, right?
Correct.
To update everyone, we found Slick. He's not hard on himself. After hearing from Adriana and the numerous other women, it's clear that he's not the person he made himself out to be. In terms of his living situation, Slick's been told to vacate our house as soon as possible. I appreciate and support those who are brave enough to come forward with their stories about his behavior. A little while after Slick's misconduct came to light last year, I made some inexcusable statements on an alt stream after some chat messages got to me. To Adriana and all those affected by his harassment, I'm sorry for those statements. Regardless of degree, it can never be considered small, and while my intention was to clarify a misleading chat message, I chose my words poorly, and my response came off as downplaying what should have never been downplayed. I wonder, did ChatGPT write this? It's so PR. He doesn't talk like this. It's so PR.
Yeah.
Additionally, a series of private messages from 2018 have been posted where I said some reprehensible things. Oh, this is where I think at the same time Ice Poseidon leaked that he said the N-word, I think.
Yeah, yes, I decided to tweet it out. Mizkif, I birthed you or something. I'm gonna take you out of this.
I'm pretty positive that's what this is.
I love that guy like he's comically evil.
Thank you for the 2, Vincent. Is it loud or no? Okay, sorry, but yeah, that was hilarious. Ice just he just hates him. He hates all the Twitch streamers because he used to be #1. He used to be the guy, and now they all shit on him and make fun of him. Okay, apologize for saying the N-word, not based. I'm sorry to everyone affected by the situation. I made bad judgment calls based on what I was led to believe, and I deeply regret it. Also want to apologize to OTK, our staff, and our partners, blah, blah, blah. Thank you to everyone who supported me. I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm short. Okay. Exhibit E. Here we have, I guess it's just pictures of him being live.
Yeah, just skip to page 55.
55. Whoa. All right, Maya. Let's go with the book.
Are you able to read that?
Book. I know you saw my stream, but I just want to reiterate that I'm sorry. I know it wasn't my place to be there that day. I was under so much pressure and was in panic mode. I didn't think he was a predator at the time, and I didn't think he deserved to go down as one. Regardless, it was wrong of me for me to inject myself in your experience. Well, you didn't want me to be involved, and I wasn't thinking about you enough. I feel like I was under so much pressure with Slick being my best friend at the time and Miz being my boyfriend. I've been distanced from that group pretty significantly since the breakup, and it's much easier to see your side of things being outside of that Mizkif bubble. Genuinely sorry too for your exclusion from things because of all this. I didn't know Slick messaged everyone you hung out with, and that is so not okay. Last apology is I'm sorry you've been thrown into something so public and heavy again because of the other people and not on your own accord. I hate that such a sensitive situation had to be dealt with this way, and I hate that I was a part of the pressure for you a year ago. I really hope you come out of this happier and you can thrive here. And she responded with a thumbs up instead of giving a reply. I would give someone a thumbs up if I hated them, I think.
Yeah, I think at this point she was probably pretty mad. Page 75 is basically her evidence for Mizkif accusing her of sexual being false.
Hey, I was just informed on what I did in action on Saturday. I just want to apologize if it made you uncomfortable in any way. That was never my intention. All the best. It's all good. I mean, this could just be him saying he doesn't care about it. Guys tend to care less about sexual assault than women, but I guess if she wants to play that. I mean, I'm not saying she's guilty, to be clear, but I think that if a girl grabbed my dick, I would be way less traumatized / mentally affected than if, like, I grabbed a girl's ass. She would be way more traumatized by that now.
Well, I don't know. If it's you, I don't know, but average guys probably.
I mean, you think I'm a sensitive type of guy.
No, yeah,
I'm a sensitive sweetheart. No, you're right. I mean, obviously, if someone touched my penis, I would cry. I would cry. Exhibit N. Uh-oh. So
do you know
Exhibit N? Sorry, you can go.
No, you're good. Let it out. Do you know who Kyle is in this story?
My nigga.
No, I don't. Who is Kyle?
Okay, so Kyle is also known as 77 degrees. I mean, Kyle is Exhibit N, so you could just scroll to Exhibit N.
77 degrees.
But yeah, so I mean, listen. He'll describe it. Let's just read because it's worth it. I think this one and the next one are worth it.
Can I look up this guy? Is this a streamer guy?
Yeah. Maybe he's just involved on. Why would he give his name?
What the? Who is this? He blocked me.
You're pre-blocked.
Does he know? I wonder if he knows.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Uh,
Is this him? Wait, only 400 followers. I don't know who this is. 77 degrees OTK. I have no idea who the this is. I
no,
don't even know if this is the right guy that I found on Twitter.
I feel like there's no one in. I feel like someone in chat might know. Does nobody in chat know who Kyle from?
Apparently
Because I
not.
know, and during my research, again, if you read it, it'll probably tell you. Honestly,
Yeah. No.
just read the affidavit. It will say.
Owned, dude. Jesus. Okay, well, we'll read it then. We'll just read it. Why not, right? I, Kyle, have been informed that under the Penal Code of the State of Texas, a person commits an offense if, with intent to deceive, with knowledge of the statement's meaning, he makes a false statement under oath, blah, blah, blah. My name is Kyle, also known as 77 degrees. I'm over the age of 18 and currently reside at blank. I'm gay. I would like to make the following statements. I have known Adriana Lee for 3 years and met her through a mutual friend named Terry. Terry lives in Canada, blah, blah. I've been to Mizkif / Matthew's home, but I've never made any interactions with him. I've known him for about a year. Okay. At the time of the incident, okay, whatever. Okay, is this what I should be reading?
Yeah. So this is one of the people who were physically there too. So this is, I think, who what is basically like their evidence for it being true. It's like one of the people who were there. But I think a lot of the testimony that they have is from like it's like somebody's ex-boyfriend, and now they're an ex, so they've got like a stake. Everybody's involved. I think that was like the one big statement Destiny made, was like nobody's reliable in this whole
Right.
situation because everyone has something to gain, and this applies even in the random characters from the side all seem to. It's like, again, so it's like someone's ex, and it's like, okay, wait, well, why would you not say anything in the beginning, and then now that you're an ex, you're saying it? It
Yeah.
looks less believable.
No, it does. Yeah, for sure. I remember people calling Crazy Slay creepy and creepy. Okay, well, we know this story. This is him basically corroborating her testimony, right?
Yeah.
Crazy Slate kept coming in and saying he wanted to see if she was alive and if she was breathing. He sat next to the bed and we asked him to leave several times, but he refused. He came in 4 more times, and the last time he said he wanted to check her heart rate. We told him she's fine and told him it was none of his business and to get out. He ended up putting his hand on her breast. That's when I and others stepped in to physically remove him. I'm not sure why we didn't make a police report. I figured the victim needed to make that statement. I told Adriana immediately the morning after. Adriana and I talked about it several times, but she was aware since the day after. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the next one is an affidavit. Like I said, once again, it's from one of so do you know Ryan Reeves?
Do I know Ryan Reeves? Probably not.
Ryan Reeves, I think, is related to the OTK boys. Definitely not him.
This guy.
Yeah. So he's related. Oh, maybe not actually. I don't know. But he's one of the OTK related to the OTK group, and so this is a story. There's an affidavit from his ex.
Okay. Who are all these people that are just involved in OTK? There's so many characters. Who the fuck are these people?
Well, I mean, technically, Adriana Lee herself, right, was hanging out with them. So, and would you have ever thought about like her being related to OTK?
Probably not.
Technically, on that night she was.
I've seen screenshots from Crazy Slick, including Adriana from events. All I know about Emiru is that she lives with Mizkif and went on live stream and said he would never do this. Isfahan and Asmongold are affiliated with OTK. To my knowledge, Isfahan lives next door to Mizkif / Matthew Renuado. Owned, dude. Destroyed. Oxed. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So I think that's enough with that document. And then so immediately once that happens, once this lawsuit basically comes across their desks, right?
Yeah.
So these guys all live in Texas. And this is sort of a speech related lawsuit, right? So
well, it's all testimony, because I mean there wasn't a so there's no kit. It's all just like, I mean, it's he said, she said, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and technically none of that even weirdly matters because it's about the defamation, right? So that's what they're suing for, is for it's specifically for what Mizkif said that made Adriana Lee look bad.
Right.
right? And so like when you like look at it from that angle, so then it's purely a speech related thing, and usually everybody responds with, oh, free speech.
Right. Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And then some states have special laws that protects their freedom of speech even more. And Texas, obviously, God bless Texas, they got that. So if there's something called a TCPA, where if you get sued for a speech related thing, you could just say the TCPA protects me from basically freedom of speech.
So what is your, I guess, obviously we don't know what's going to happen. Has there been any response from the other legal teams
Oh,
that we could read?
oh no, I know what's gonna happen. We're gonna find out what's gonna happen.
Okay. What's going to happen?
I just sent you. We're gonna start off with OTK's response.
Motion to dismiss. All right.
Yeah. So immediately they come and say, throw that out.
So this is a pretty, let's see here. This one is, whoa! 300
There's
pages.
a lot of attachments. It's just a lot of screenshots.
They're trying to own her brutally. Okay. Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what is the big takeaway here as far as trying to get it dismissed?
Big takeaway here is number one, we're OTK. What did we do? Everything you're saying it makes sense to complain against maybe Mizkif or maybe Crazy Slick, but what did we do? Number one. Another thing they argue is how come she did, if what she's saying is true, then why not sue Crazy Slick for sexual? Why are you
Right.
suing us for defamation? Why are you suing us
That's
for
quite a good point, to
talking
be
about the
honest.
sexual, as opposed to suing someone for the sexual?
That's
That is a good point.
Yeah.
But then a response to that is there's statute of limitations for the sexual,
Mhm.
right? And according to her, she did not find out that she was sexually assaulted for almost a year and a half afterwards.
But that doesn't even make sense, because the day she claims in her own suit that the day after she was told by the what's his name? Was it Kyle? Someone told her like the morning after what happened, right?
Yeah, but she said she was like processing it, you know. And then again later on, when everything started like picking up a year and a half later, is when she started calling it sexual. So that was her excuse. But I mean, they're valid points. I think OTK definitely has a leg to stand on, because what is, at the end of the day, even if everything is absolutely true, everything she's alleging, which by the way, that's not even an even if situation. In a motion to dismiss, you assume every single thing that the plaintiff is alleging is true. So we're gonna assume everything Adriana Lee, even like we're gonna hold all her words as fact. There is still nothing to sue for, is what OTK is saying.
Right. Okay. Interesting. They also say here, they say under the facts, they claim that basically Novaru didn't actually do anything wrong, because she talked about what happened, but she used like her and talked in vagaries, basically.
Yes.
Which is interesting. Let's see here. Documentary evidence establishes plaintiff is incorrect. Not only did Novaru learn of the alleged incident from plaintiff, but Novaru only publicly discussed the alleged incident in vagaries, using no names, referring to plaintiff only as her.
Yeah, let me tell you exactly where their actual points are. You know, actually, there's something very interesting I noticed while looking at this stuff.
Okay.
That might be even more interesting than the whole lawsuit. You know, in the first page of the whole lawsuit, if you want to go back, you don't have to.
Sure. Yeah, I got it.
Can you scroll down a little bit, and where it says the parties, exactly, you see it's listing the people, and you say where it says number 7, defendant OTK.
Yeah.
It says defendant OTK is a for-profit Delaware corporation doing business in Texas, and then it says registered agent for service of process,
Rich Campbell.
Rich Campbell. Now, I was under the impression that Rich Campbell stepped down from all OTK related activities.
When was this filed?
I believe. When was this filed? This was filed in July. Let me double check.
July of 23?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe the info is wrong. Is that possible?
You say, I mean, that is definitely, and okay, so that's what I thought. You know what? Let's play along. So that's what I thought. I was like, maybe the info's wrong because this is from her team, right? So maybe her team thinks that. And being a registered agent doesn't really even mean much. You know, it just means that you just get their mail, pretty much.
Yeah.
But then now let's go back to the document you were just on.
Okay, the motion to dismiss.
Yes, and let's skip to page 32.
Uh-oh. Is Rich going to be listed here?
And it says declaration of MA, right? And when I saw this, I was I was like, okay. And it never, everybody else in the entire lawsuit, everybody and their mothers are named, okay, except MA. And you can read, it says, my name is MA. I am a co-founder and board member and the president and CEO of OTK.
I've held the
I've
position.
held the position. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it not? Is MA initials for something? Or is it just...
Yes. I don't know what it's supposed to stand for, but it just says MA. So, and it just says who they are, and then basically this is part of OTK's defense, and they're just basically saying how OTK reacted to everything, you know. But so then I was like, okay, and then I realized I'm not gonna dox anyone, and I don't think this is doxing. MA's address and Richard Campbell's address are the same.
So basically, Rich Campbell, is that even his name?
I think MA. In my opinion, in my non-legal opinion, I think MA might be Richard Campbell because their address is the same.
Okay.
If you look on this page right now, where you
I guess.
Unless he lives with somebody else, that's obviously possible. And so I thought that was a little bit. I thought that was interesting because I thought for Rich Campbell's supposed to have stepped down since 2022. I believe.
Yeah, exactly. He's supposed to have stepped down, but I mean, maybe he stepped down as like CEO or whatever his role was. Maybe he's still part of the business technically.
I can tell you right now, Rich Campbell he's the CEO, he's the president, he's a member of the board of directors, and he's a co-founder, according to this.
Right now?
So, yeah, it says as of December 16, 2022. So I wonder if it's a thing where he stepped down and then he stepped back up, and that's why it says December 16, 2022. But again,
so says it's a mailing address for the business. That's why it's the same. But the mailing address for the business would be in Delaware, no?
The mailing address for the business would be in Delaware. Okay,
someone says it's a mailing address for the business. That's why it's the same. That's possible? No.
Well, yeah, but the mailing address for the business is his house. We just saw that, right? When we go back, if you go to the first amended complaint, it said OTK address Richard Campbell, who lives here. So
someone says MA,
that is true.
Someone in chat says Master says MA is tips out. Tips out. This guy. They're claiming that is this dude, basically.
I don't know anything. I don't know who he is, so I got nothing to say on that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I just based my guess based on the fact that the MA's address and Richard Campbell's address are the same location.
Richard W. Campbell is his real name. W. Taking W's. Damn. Okay, so this motion to dismiss is filed. What do you think is going to happen?
So yeah, if you continue going, they talk about the things that they did, basically the background stuff.
Yeah.
And I will say, to their credit, OTK at the companies that the law firm that they employ to run their audit for this stuff is at least a reputable one.
They're saying Maya is not a part of OTK.
Yes.
Which she's not, I guess, I assume. She's not an employee, consultant, board member, shareholder, or otherwise.
And they also say that Mizkif's actions are not OTK. So this is Mizkif's words.
Mm.
If you're interested, he doesn't really say anything. He just says again.
Yeah. MA's Turkey Town Smelly Cloppers. True. Thank you, Dode. Thank you so much for that. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think the rest of the stuff, there's nothing really worth your time. I mean, again, so I kind of include this to show you that the lawyers include everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is 300 pages, and the initial lawsuit was, what was this? This was 83. This is 300.
I mean, I'll tell you, all the documents that I got, like I said, were 1,800 pages. So,
Holy. Okay. All right. So we've seen this. We've seen the motion to dismiss. What's next?
Go to page 119. That's one screenshot that might be worth taking a look at.
119. All right. You survived. You feeling okay? I'm still drunk. I can see that. Where'd you wake up? Back on Airbnb. Oh, you were passed out in the bed and we're like guarding you from that one dude who was stalking you. Black Justin Bieber hair. He kept trying to touch on you when you were passed out to see if you were alive. Okay.
122 is the next page I would look at.
Okay. What is the filter? You're just so cute. I'll send it to you on Snap. I talked about the slick thing on stream, but I made sure not to mention your name. But if you want to say something about it, then feel free to. Not sure if you ever have. I didn't feel comfortable sharing what you said since I wasn't there. Not trying to cancel him, but I want to never put a girl in this situation ever again. Okay. Interesting.
127 is another one.
Yeah, so that's why I haven't said anything, but he's hanging out with literally everyone I know, and I genuinely feel uncomfortable being around him. I hope at least this kind of makes him less creepy around people. That's all I want. But dude, honestly, you shouldn't be afraid of people saying that, because if you were so drunk you blacked out, he shouldn't have been doing that to you. Even making out. Pretty sure he was only there for a short amount of time, so don't imagine him being that drunk. People are assuming I made it up or something, so if you said anything, it would help. Also, because you're not the only one this has happened to, people will believe it. Other girls are also messaging me saying things. So I guess this crazy slick guy was just a horny freak messaging a ton of girls.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're just including the different people that he texted.
I don't understand why, if you're like a popular streamer guy and you have an Instagram, girls will just come in your DMs. I don't understand why he was doing this. It's perplexing to me.
He is not Turkey Tom.
Well, I know, but you don't have to be. He's just a guy. He's a popular guy on Twitch. There's going to be girls that are just.
It was crazy like a popular guy on Twitch. Yeah, I mean, he has 249,000 concurrent YouTube views.
77K subs is a lot.
Okay,
that's a lot.
Fair enough. I don't.
Or was it subscribe? Or was it followers? I don't know how many subs he had, but even that's still a lot. And he was friends with like famous people too. So all of that together, I feel like he should have been getting somehow.
That's fair.
I like that they include these ads about recyclable plastic in the screenshots. Thank you very much.
I hear, and then so here's Crazy Slick's response, which was
right here.
Very short. I just sent it to you right now. That one was extremely short.
What the? Pursuant to Rule 92. Defendant generally denies all allegations. Defendant prays the plaintiff take nothing. The defendant be granted all relief. It shows himself entitled in law or equity. Okay.
So he's just
saying, I didn't do it. Don't take my. That's literally
pretty much. Yeah, the closest thing to a mic drop thing, in court.
Did a lawyer even write this?
I do think he had. I think so.
Okay.
I think I was.
So here we have OTK cross and counterclaims. Interesting. Okay, so what is the deal with this? This is
so OTK comes and pretty much sues everybody else involved too, and first they do two things. First thing they do, they sue everybody else involved too, because like I said, they haven't done anything. So
what do you mean by everybody? They sue Mizkif?
Yeah, so if you search for counterclaims, go to this, go down, or actually go up. Sorry.
Okay.
So the first one on page 1.
Just page 1. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the counterclaim. They just say basically, like Crazy Slick is one.
Suing them for tortious interference, which is illegally with someone's business now.
Yeah. So the second thing they do. Oh, well, actually, okay. Sorry. We should actually go to page 5. My apologies. Not page 1.
Okay.
Yeah. From all other defendants, yeah, exactly, including Maya Higa, including Crazy Slick and Mizkif. They say if OTK is liable, it asks that the court find them to have to pay their part.
Gotcha. Interesting.
And then they also countersue Adriana Lee because they say, well, now we have taken reputational damage because of your lawsuit.
Right.
And so now we want damages. But the court, honestly, those stuff they kind of threw out, and then so now the courts responded to their motion to dismiss, and in these lawsuits, that's where everything lies. Everything is in the motion to dismiss. Usually, it's at least definitely the first big huge hurdle. So this is the first one that they respond with here. Let me just.
Matcher in chat, who apparently is reading about this stuff, says they already dismissed the OTK suit and granted them legal fees from Adriana Lee.
Yeah. Exactly. They kept some of them still in it, but OTK is gone, Maya Higa is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me just send that to you.
Defendant Maya Higa's Rule 91A motion to dismiss is granted in part and denied in part. Defendant Maya Higa's Rule 91 is granted with respect to fraud and tortious interference with business relations. It's denied with all other respects. Okay. Motion to dismiss is granted. So OTK is dropped from the suit. Maya is dropped from the suit for fraud and tortious interference, but not the emotional distress. I assume that's the saying, right?
Correct.
Okay. Defendant's Mizkif, motion to dismiss granted in part, denied in part. So the business aspect is gone, but the other stuff as far as emotional distress is still in there. Does that mean that the claim that she has to money is significantly weakened?
Yes. I mean, at least the number of players in the game, right, are less. So technically, I mean, I guess not. It would just be she owes this a fewer number of people owe her the same amount of money in theory, but yeah, it definitely lowers her chances by a lot, I would say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then they also responded. The court also responded for Maya's. Here we go.
Is this the one I should be looking at, or have you sent it?
No, here we go. I just sent it right now.
Okay. All right, here we go.
So yeah, they also dismissed the rest of Maya's stuff.
Okay, so she's out. She's fine then.
Yes. So Maya is fully out. So basically, the court. Now, remember the two quotes, the two speeches? Yeah, this is perfect. You should keep it on this page. The two quotes we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The court finds the first one to be not defamatory at all. So anybody who was related to that specific lawsuit got thrown out, right? And that one, so Maya's entire involvement was with the first quote, so she was thrown out, and OTK was also thrown out. Mizkif's part of the lawsuit related to that first quote is also thrown out, and the same thing applies to Crazy Slick.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so now that OTK gets their lawsuit thrown out, they ask for attorney's fees. Right. And that's where these lawsuits get kind of is because you start a lawsuit like this, even if she was like, oh, maybe I could make some money, it can backfire hard, right?
Right. And do we think that's what's happening here? It's backfiring?
Don't open this last one. Actually, I sent you. It's not the redacted version.
But would you say it's backfiring for her?
Oh, I would say I wouldn't say it's backfiring. I would say it's backfired.
Okay, it's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
Oh yeah, I would say it's pretty over for her. So this is what they ask for attorney's fees. They ask for $75,000 in attorney's fees.
OTK?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to defend themselves.
Okay.
And then they ask for another $75,000 to be held basically in an account in case she tries to appeal the lawsuit, and they have to defend themselves in the lawsuit.
So she's gonna owe them $150.
And So into that, I just include this so you can see their actual expenses.
You
So
see the
their rate is
rate,
$650 per
and then we
hour.
have the hours. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Damn, that lawyer is making bank. Good for that guy.
Yeah. So if you keep going through the exhibits, you'll see they even like write down exactly what they're doing in each minute. Something like if they pick up a phone call to talk to you for 10 minutes or
Mhm.
whatever, how long it takes, they will. You're gonna have to pay for it, you know.
Right.
So they ask for it and they get it, and they don't get all of it, but they get 50K.
Jeez.
They get 53K.
They're gonna get
So
50K from Adriana,
correct,
which she
53K.
can't pay for. So whoever's funding the lawsuit really is who's paying for it. Right?
So that's why I asked you in the beginning who you think is funding the lawsuit.
I
Because
feel like I have some memory hidden in my mind of Trainwreck saying he would help her, but I don't know if that happened. I could be. This could be
it's
complete.
gotta be, yeah. He sues, and so they get the 53K. But then also now you gotta also account for. I mean, if one of the parties defending themselves pay it costs them 53K, how much do you think it's costing her? In theory, I would assume it's cost her even a little bit more.
Yeah, if not,
Right.
I mean at least probably 50, right?
At least the same amount.
So now
right,
it's
so
100
we're at
deep.
100K. Yeah. So and it's like, and this all happened because Chainrex responded to Mizkif's attorney. I mean, look, as somebody looking to practice law, I think you guys should keep talking forever. I think you should never shut your mouths. I think
So well, yeah, because you're gonna make money, you little scumbag. I don't really even blame you. 150K is not that bad. That's definitely horrible. I make a lot of money. I would not want to pay. I don't want to give anyone any of it. I don't want to give anyone $10. If somebody owed me $3,000, I would have a pain in my back and I would be pushing my head into walls because that's still so much money. And Adriana Lee is not making that kind of money. She's not. Adriana Lee is making maybe a few $1,000s a month. So, yeah. Aaron, I do make quite a bit. I actually think I made $1 million last year, which is a pretty good feeling. But I still don't want to give that money away to anyone.
It's so in this situation because you are literally not giving that money away to anyone because it's not even like OTK is getting it, right? It's their lawyer fees.
Yeah.
Like they just had like OTK just had a headache and they're the winners and they just had a headache.
Yeah.
And then Adriana Lee is 100K in debt, you know. Technically the lawsuit's still ongoing. The case is open.
Yeah.
And that second quote against Crazy Slick and against Mizkif, I think particularly Mizkif, she could like on the technicality whether that statement was defamatory and whether he defamed her. Maybe he did, but then now think about you're still racking up more and more lawyer fees. Right now we're at the 50K point, right? Every single document you file past now, you're racking up more. And how much do you think you're going to prove your damages was related to Mizkif accusing you of sexually whatever CYR or CR?
So what is the end of this going to look like? What is the end of this lawsuit going to look like?
I think this is what the end of this looks like.
She loses. She owes a bunch of money. That's it.
I think I think this is it. I think there's no more. I think if you're smart, I cut your losses sounds like a weird statement saying 100K in, but you cut your losses and then that's it.
Vizzy says she streams to 50 people now. I don't know if she makes thousands. Well, I was saying she was making like a few thousand a month at her peak of streaming. Really, I think the best she made was like $8,000 in a month. So yeah, I mean, she might be making some money from other stuff, but I mean, she's probably making a few thousand just in total a month, just from whatever other income sources she has. But yeah, she kind of got owned, dude. No, Vincent, you cannot have $60 for Clash of Clans. Well, thank you for the 2. I'm not funding your mobile game addiction. If you show me pictures of you right now and you're skinny or fat, and then in a year you're jacked, I'll reimburse you for your gym membership. I'll do that. But yeah, damn. Well, that was a pretty interesting story. Kind of feel bad for her a little bit, but I don't know. Play the cards. Oh well, play the cards that
Yeah,
I'm given, kind of thing. She kind of found.
she played the cards. Is the I was also surprised it took her so long, right? Why wait so long then do it? And I genuinely do think her numbers dropped. Like I think she was damaged, right? Uh, I I think it was
Well,
maybe
it seems
herself.
like she started the lawsuit in response to public pressure.
You think? Is that maybe? You know, I mean,
Because once it became a huge story, then she decided to sue them, right?
well, once it became a huge story, she decided to sue them, but she decided to sue them after the story already died down.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, the lawsuit was filed 6 months after ish.
Yeah, it was sued. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe she just
And
needed
it's
money.
yeah, no, and I think so. I think like you said. I mean, how many viewers is she getting right now? What does she average?
50, like 50.
I mean, 50 is not. Is 50 a livable
No,
wage? It's not a
absolutely.
livable.
Under no circumstances at a livable wage. No.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I know, I think she does have like OnlyFans and all that stuff. So maybe it like helps, but I think she genuinely, she, for a while, she a young girl, you know, I think she was born in, she's like, now I think she's like 24, if I'm not wrong. Young girl, if I had to guess, got a ton of money exactly when everything blew up and was like, oh, like, this is it. I made it. Obviously, nobody stayed around and then was like, whoa. And it's like, okay, so I was obviously wronged in this situation. I can
Yeah.
see like how you come to that conclusion. It's just the issue is who wronged her is I don't know.
To be clear, guys in chat, Adriana's initial allegation doesn't seem to be false at all, and it seems like, I mean, it was confirmed by everybody involved, right? Crazy Slick did fucking touch her in her sleep. Mizkif and did send Maya, Higa, and all these other people to, go deal with it, quote unquote, cover it up. That is real. The problem is just that it doesn't seem like it's actionable in court.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, one of the people getting sued, Maya Higa, thinks that her story is real. So I don't think there's anything
Well, also, Mizkif
about.
thinks her story is real.
Yeah, her story is real again, but it was her the way she went. You could say, I think a lot of people would say, oh, the way she went about it was her mistake. You know, that was her flaw. But then the poor girl didn't even choose to go about it of her own like doing. I think you saw the screenshot, right? It's like she literally just gets a text from Novaru being like, "Oh yeah, last night I talked about your sexual on stream, and now people know, cat's out the bag." And then Maya Higa shows up.
Vizzy, it is wild that she's getting that few viewers, but also just keep in mind that drama is only a very short term thing, to be entertaining. You have to have more than that to hold viewers. You can't just be someone who is involved in a drama and then ride that forever. People aren't going to listen to you. If you're not entertaining, people are just not going to watch you. And I'm not saying she's necessarily not entertaining, but for whatever reason, her is just not taking off. But I've never watched one of her streams, so I don't really know. I don't really know what she's doing. Yeah, I don't know. It's too bad. Feel bad for her. Seems like she's not going to get the fairy tale ending she wanted out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really hope for her sake, Mizkif is. I mean, sorry, Chainrex is funding her, and again, I think he is, but it would be extremely, extremely messed up for him to force her hand that hard and not back it up.
Yeah, I mean, I assume, I guess, that Train is funding it, but I just don't. I could be wrong. Yeah,
We
I could be
changed rich
wrong.
as hell, right? And I
Oh
think,
yeah,
I think someone like Train, like the one thing, all the videos that came out afterwards, he's like a, he's, I mean, he's, he's like me, he's like, I know people like Train because I'm Middle Eastern and he's Middle Eastern, and I do think like he genuinely like he respects women in his like a lot, and this is his way of like respecting women, and it's like one of the women he knew were wronged, and he like it's like an injustice has been done. I have to do something about it, and this is the only thing he can do about it.
Right.
But actions have consequences, and this is like a direct consequence of that.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I
her
know you
hand
guys
is
respect women
forced.
there. That's why you cover them up, right? You respect them.
I,
You respect them
obviously.
too much to look at them.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I walked into that
sorry.
one.
I didn't mean to interrupt you
I,
too much. You can go
I
on.
walked into that one. No, I don't got. That was the end of my Middle East support diatribe.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy that that story was just publicly or privately known for a long time, and then it was like,
For a long time, and they all knew it. And every time, Tom, you and I talk about anything that happens on Twitch, I feel like we always come back to it. Is like, how many of these mothers knew and didn't say anything until they
until
decided
it
to
was
start talking about
convenient.
it?
Until it was
Yeah.
convenient. Like Train only brought it up. I mean, he only brought it up when he was coming out. People
When
coming after him with the
Mizkif went
gambling
after
thing.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what? It's like someone being accused of murder and being like, oh yeah, but you someone. It's like, oh okay, but like,
Well,
what?
it's not that bad, but I know what you're saying because what they were accusing him of was gambling, and he was like, I guess maybe the reason he didn't say it is because he just didn't have proof it happened, and he was just like, oh well, if they're gonna come at me, then I'll just go scorched earth, right? Sometimes that's why part of why I like Train though. He just has these crazy moments once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, he's disappeared though in a while. No,
Train?
I haven't seen much. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like of him like in the like online and like all at least like Twitter wise. I haven't seen anything of him in like a couple of years now.
I think he's still on Kick. Let's see what he's doing.
Does he stream himself?
Yeah, I assume so. Let's see here. 200,000 followers on Kick. He's offline right now. Looks like he was live 13 days ago, 18 days ago, 23. Yeah, he's not streaming that much. I think he's pretty much running this site though. I think he's heavily involved in it, so I assume he's got stuff to do. But he's also so rich, he doesn't really have to care.
Yeah.
Training grinding in the back.
Weirdly, it seemed to be like the best thing that happened to him was, the chips landed well for him.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, Train got to like destroy like the virtue signaling Twitch people who we hated anyway, and like just like we're always on him, making fun of him behind his back. He got to destroy them. He founded his own gaming platform, or streaming platform, which is Kick, that he now is like helping run. Is one of the most talked about things online. Has all these new streamers going to it, and then all these guys are just like part of a dying platform. Like Mizkif is like sort of at the end of Twitch's popularity.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, exactly what you're saying, right? Like I don't know if you would agree with this, but I would say no matter if Kick burns down tomorrow, Mizkif already kind of succeeded. Because I remember when it first came out, like people legitimately thought like it was some guy in his basement with like 2 tin cans, throwing a website together. Nobody had any, like, he was getting trolled so hard online. And then like now, like the biggest thing that people were talking about on the internet yesterday or the past couple days, which is like the whole like that happened on stream, was like Aiden Ross and 21 Savage, Aiden Ross and those both on Kick.
Yeah.
And it's like they're competing with Twitch. The future is now, kids. It's happening.
And what's funny about that is that the way I found out about that was from Ludwig, who used to be the biggest person on Twitch and is now on YouTube talking about Kick. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. I think this is a good byproduct though of all three platforms kind of understanding that they can only help each other. Twitch stopped like being annoying and being like you can't multi-stream and stuff, and now like they can just leech off of each other essentially.
They can, but I feel like Twitch is just is like its cool factor is kind of on its way out. It's seen as like the past old man gay. Even if they try to change it now, there's just such a stigma for streamers, and they're also not signing streamers anymore with these big deals versus I think Rumble and Kick have done even those recently.
But do you think like the future of streaming is like like another big singular website like a Twitch would pop up again, or you think it's split up and it's gonna stay split up forever?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I think people really like having one app. They like having one thing to go to watch. Like with video sites, right? Like it's just YouTube. If you want to see pictures of girls shake like butt clap videos, it's Instagram. If you want to sext, it's Snapchat. If you want to see Elon Musk and Alex Jones interacting, it's Twitter, right? And all these sites do like what they do very well. For streaming, the problem is just that Twitch did what it did very poorly for a long time, but it was just the biggest one. And now it's disseminated among these other platforms. I think for the foreseeable future, there will be a few other platforms, but I wouldn't be surprised if eventually it'll be like Rumble or Kick that kind of gets chosen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, so you like it like the CCP style where they have everything on one website,
I don't,
like they're
I don't,
texting YouTube.
I don't like it. I would like it to be more disseminated, honestly. I would like it to be more decentralized because then that allows less censorship and more competition and opportunity for improvement. But it seems like the way people actually like it in reality, like the way the average consumer likes it, is like the least amount of things possible to access. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it being split up is healthier.
I mean, back in the day, there was like Blog TV where Keemstar had his hands up. There was like Livestream.me. There was all these other sites, and then there was also Twitch, and Twitch was the one that was the best out of all of those. But we might be going through another period of like different little sites figuring it out. And there were the thing is along the way that Twitch was like the biggest. There were other sites that tried to come up and take their spot. Like DLive was one of them that kind of died. I think literally the only people that were using DLive were PewDiePie for like a few streams, and then Nick Fuentes was like the biggest person there for a while.
Mm.
And I guess Ethan Ralph was there for a bit, but the problem with those sites for
Do
the
you
longest
think?
time was that the only people that would go were like banned right wingers who couldn't be racist on YouTube anymore. So that was their problem.
Yeah,
The nice thing about the current stuff going on is Rumble does have some, but Kick especially has like a more mainstream audience that isn't there for politics or like just because they're
but you think that's
banned.
because they start with a ton of money? I feel like that's the biggest reason,
That's I
right?
mean that's
They were able to throw money at it.
They had a perfect situation though too. They came at a time when Twitch was hated. A lot of people wanted to leave. Trainwrecks personally had left Twitch because of the gambling thing, and people could not gamble on Twitch anymore. So they had a perfect storm of like gambling is controversial, but it's not as controversial as like right wing extremism, right? And so that's part of why that site was able to get so big so fast, is because they had a wider net to cast. Gambling, and then all these other streamers who do gambling content. It's not like all that Aiden Ross does is gambling. He does other too, and the same applies for XQC or all these other guys. So, and even like people like Destiny. I mean, he does the show Kick or Keep on Kick. He's signed there to do certain content there. So yeah, I think Kick need to make their stock public. I don't think they want to do that because they have so much money they don't need that because they're a gambler.
Do you think which others? Do you think any other streamer? I guess if you had to guess, and which other streamers would you say would be able to pull off something similar to what Trainwrecks did? Would you think like I don't know? You think like
You mean
Keem would have
making a
been able
site?
to? Yeah, making their own either streaming or I guess YouTube.
Keemstar would not. Keemstar doesn't have. He's rich. He doesn't have that kind of money, and he also is not really in the cultural zeitgeist anymore. Like people don't like think of Keemstar as like the guy to watch. They really just don't. And he knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like I think iShow Speed's probably pretty, but he could probably do it. Kai Cenat could probably do it. All these guys, yeah.
Yeah, I think Trainwrecks had like the stake engine behind it, which helped. them a
Yes, he
lot.
did. I mean, that it helps to this day. They have so much money, right? Disgusting amount
I
of
mean,
money.
yeah.
Yeah. So which is nice because they don't have to actually they don't have to rely on anything. They can just dump money into it, and because the gambling does so well, they don't have to rely on streamer revenue. So they can just build it. They can just build it and suffer from the back end.
I'm looking at your screen. Have you have you reacted at all to the 21 Savage Aiden Ross, like the whole scamming?
I haven't, but I literally watched both of them today while I was showering. They were good videos. It was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what? No matter what, that I think about that $2 million and see, like, I think it probably already paid for itself in terms of exposure. Even though he got quote scammed even if it was $2 million, like just him getting scammed ended up going so viral, you know, that you could argue was worth it for him.
I mean, yes, but I mean, these rappers are such scumbags. I hate these people.
Yeah,
That's not surprising.
That was.
12 Sleep
Yeah.
says Aiden was a great addition to Kick. The W community is so new that they aren't dedicated to a platform like the old Twitch frogs are. That's really true. Ludwig, I feel, just based on connections and knowing what people want from a platform. Yeah, I mean, he's doing pretty good. Do you like ASMR? No. I'm not a. I was gonna say something really bad. Let's see here. I think Speed and Sanat would be happier going to Kick without having to deal with building it. Yeah, I would agree. I don't think they really care about building a platform. They'd rather just go somewhere for that. Yeah. Ludwig is for hip Zoomers that are down with the times. Parentheses losers. I mean, I have seen a few Ludwig videos. I don't like love him. I don't really know him as a personality at all. I find him funny, but like he makes the Mogul Mail channel is good. This is a good channel. I like it.
Yeah, he makes video for people who probably think themselves like a little bit smarter, like a little lefter leaning people who are like, who are like younger, but also like the commenter said, hip.
Yeah, I mean, I just like these are just perfect explainer videos for stuff. They're all pretty good. They're all well done. You can't deny that. I don't think.
Yeah, I think he's just smart enough, and he one takes like almost all of these.
Yeah. Thoughts on XQC and Ludwig apologizing to Miz and being friends with them again? I have no idea. I don't know why they did that. Can you get this guy to say Primo's Pickles?
Primo's Pickles?
There you go, guys. All right. Thank you for coming on, bro. Appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say before I kick you out?
No. Thank you for having me.
No worries.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Good content.
All right.
For real.
Yeah. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right. Shout out to my lawyer. She was not my lawyer. And be sure to become a member. For $5 a month, they get the members only podcasts and exclusive videos that only members get. Thanks so much for your support.